Rouhani warns U.S. against undermining Iran's oil trade promises. Consequences. The Iranian president has lashed out at the U.S. administration after it proclaimed the reduction of the Islamic Republic's revenue from crude oil sales to zero as its goal. After Washington's unilateral withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal, the U.S. has promised to reimpose sanctions targeting several economic sectors in Iran. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani slammed the United States for meddling in the world's oil market by targeting the Islamic Republic. Speaking to his compatriots in Switzerland during his European tour, he challenged the White House over its threats to block Iranian oil exports. It would be meaningless that Iran cannot export its oil while others in the region can. Do this if you can and see its consequences, Rouhani said, according to the Iranian broadcaster Press TV, although he didn't define what form of retaliation would follow. He also lambasted the U.S. for pressing the Islamic Republic with threats and humiliation, saying it wouldn't work, nor solve any problems, unless their politicians begin to speak with the language of logic and respect. Iran's logic has not changed. One party without logic has left the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, struck between Iran and 5 other parties in 2015, with the goal of putting pressure on the Iranian nation, he stated, according to the Iranian media. The U.S. Department of State's Director of Policy Planning, Brian Hook, recently stated that Washington's goal was to increase pressure on the Iranian regime by reducing to zero its revenue from crude oil sales. He stated Iran uses money received through the JCPOA to fund destabilizing activities in the Middle East, including Syria. Read more. Tehran, any state trying to take away Iran's oil market share will pay for it. In May, Donald Trump announced that the U.S. was unilaterally pulling out of the so-called Iranian deal, signed in 2015 by Iran on the one side and China, Germany, France, Russia, the US and the EU on the other, which had agreed to lift sanctions in exchange for Tehran maintaining a peaceful nuclear program. The US decided to reinstate sanctions on Iran and impose punitive measures on the automotive and metal sectors of the Islamic Republic, as well as torpedo the country's energy sector and petroleum-based transactions later in 2018. Read more. Trump request for Saudi oil output rise amounts to call for exiting OPEC. Iran.